very happy to be back in Slovenia and see so many interesting new people. I hope you can understand what I'm saying beyond just the words that I'm speaking.
Veliko veselje mi je, da sem ponovno v Sloveniji in da vidim med občinstvom toliko zanimivih in tudi novih ljudi. Iskreno upam, da boste lahko razumeli tudi o tistem, kar povem onkraj besed.
I believe that you've been listening to many people speak about different things, some of you.
Če prav vem, ste številni izmed nas poslušali že kar nekaj različnih govornikov.
And I thought, so that you rest your mind a little bit to do a lot of meditation, so that not only hear my words, so that you have your own experience of what I'm speaking about.
Zato sem imel v mislih, da bi raje skupaj izvedli več meditacij, tako da ne boste slišali samo mojih besed, ampak da boste imeli tudi direktno izkušnjo.
So I ask you to drop all concepts from the mind, all ideas, all curiosities, and to take a deep breath and come back to a space where you can listen from much more than just the words.
Zato vas prosim, da pustite vse koncepte za seboj, da pustite vse ideje, vse pričakovanje, samo globoko vdihnite, tako da boste lahko se povrnili v tisti del sebe, tako da lahko poslušate in slišite neprimerno več kot zgolj besede.
And I believe if you do this, you will go to heaven.
Prepričan sem, da če boste to naredili, boste šli v nebesa.
Well, sorry, let me just explain what I mean by heaven.
Ampak naj najprej razložim, kaj imam v mislih, ko rečem nebesa.
See, I was just throwing that in because we are so programmed in our perspective of seeing the world.
To sem vam malce navrgal zaradi tega, ker smo tako programirani v svojem dojemanju, v svojem percepiranju sveta.
And actually heaven is a very interesting concept because it has a lot to do with pure consciousness, which is my intention for today's talk.
Nebesa so zelo zanimiv koncept zaradi tega, ker imajo veliko v zvezi s čisto zavestjo, o kateri bi želel danes govoriti.
And if you're listening from the mundane, if you're listening from the space where dualism sort of creates this sense of good, bad, heaven and hell,
če poslušate z tistega vsakdanjega stališča, z tistega stališča dualizma, kjer se ustvarja koncept dobrega in slabega,
then of course heaven is a place outside of yourself.
Potem so nebesa neki kraj, ki je zunaj nas.
Actually, if you go back in history to when Jesus spoke about heaven,
če se povrnemo v zgodovino, v tiste čase, ko je Jezus govoril o nebesih,
he used a language which was not English, it was Aramaic, which is a very ancient Semitic language.
Je govoril v jeziku, ki ni bila angliščina, ampak aramejščina, ki je zelo starodaven jezik.
And this is what heaven means in Aramaic. I grew up in the Middle East, so I sort of learned it a little bit.
V aramejščini pomeni nebes drugačen. Zrasel sem, prve leta svojega življenja sem preživel na Bližnjem vzhodu, zaradi tega imam drugačen koncept nebes.
So heaven in Aramaic is a very long word. It's this: light and sound shining through all creation.
V aramejščini za nebesa obstaja daljša beseda, pomeni svetloba in zvok, ki sije skozi vse stvaritve.
What a wonderful concept. When you understand heaven from this perspective, you realize that the world that we live in is much more profound than we can ever think.
In to je krasen koncept. Če razumemo nebesa na ta način, potem razumemo tudi, da je svet neprimerno več, kot si lahko mislimo.
It's a world full of resonance, a world full of particles that create a sense of adventure and potential.
To je svet, ki rezonira, v katerem je obilje delčkov, v katerih je veliki potencial in velika stvaritev.
What a wonderful thing. And I also believe it goes further.
In to je nekaj krasnega, ampak mislim, da gre zadeve še dlje, še onkraj tega.
I don't believe in the old concept that we are just sitting and watching the sun go around the earth. Is that what it does? I hope I'm saying the right thing.
Ne verjamem namreč v to, da je naš edini namen ta, da sedimo in opazujemo, kako sonce potuje okrog zemlje. Saj to sonce počne, ne?
You know, somewhere in our little world we sit with our hurt ego and we watch the world go by and we think that we are an observer to situations outside of ourselves.
Nekje v tem svojem malem svetu s hranjenim mlekom sedimo in opazujemo stvari, ki gredo mimo nas in mislimo, da je naša vloga izključno vloga opazovalca.
I believe that pure consciousness is light and sound and that our essence is pure consciousness. So actually we are creators in the world.
Sam sem prepričan, da je naša zavest, ki se stoji iz svetlobe in zvoka. Zaradi tega smo tudi stvaritelji in ustvarjamo vse, kar vidimo.
We are creators in the world.
Naša vloga je vloga stvaritelja, stvarnikov.
So there is an amazing freedom. Actually, it's a bit scary because that means that we can do whatever we like. We are free.
To prinaša veliko svobodo, obenem pa je to zastrašujoče zaradi tega, ker dejansko lahko naredimo, kar želimo. Svobodni smo.
Well, that is the theory.
To je vsaj teorija.
And I wanted to find this freedom very young, at a very young age.
Ko sem bil še v rosno mladih letih, sem želel najti to svobodo.
And I didn't believe I could find it anywhere. I was looking everywhere, just like everyone does when you look for something, everywhere outside. And then I began to travel.
Pogledal sem okrog sebe, tako kot to storijo vsi, in sem videl, da je ne morem najti nikjer okrog sebe, tako kot je tipično za takšna leta. In zato sem začel potovati.
I began to travel, and it's a long story. I hope one day you can read the book if you are interested. Otherwise, to cut the long story short, I ended up in the Amazon forest, a very strange place.
Tako sem začel potovati, zgodba je dolga, potovanje kar nekaj, upam, da boste na neki točki mogoče lahko prebrali knjigo, kateri piše več, ampak če stvari povzamem zelo na kratko, nekako sem pristal v amazonskem pragozdu, ki je zelo čuden kraj.
Strange place for me because everything was different.
Čuden je bil zame zaradi tega, ker je bilo tam vse drugače.
I sat in a canoe, going deeper into the forest. That's how they travel in the Amazon forest.
Sedel sem v kanoju, globoko v amazonskem pragozdu, zaradi tega, ker tam tako potujejo.
And what I realized was happening in my mind, which is very important for you perhaps to understand.
In ugotovil sem, da se marsikaj dogaja v mojem umu, kar je zelo pomembno za človeka, da spozna.
Is in that moment, even though I was fulfilling a dream,
v tistem trenutku sem spoznal, da čeprav izpolnjujem in živim svoje sanje,
my dream was to find myself, but also to save the rainforest. I was a marine biologist.
Moje sanje so bile tako, da najdem sebe, kot tudi da rešim pragozd, zaradi tega, ker sem po poklicu bil morski biolog.
I was not really happy.
In ugotovil sem, da nisem bil zelo
anyone who's
srečen.
been to the rainforest, it's beautiful, but it wasn't so easy to be in.
Če kdajkoli obiskal pragozd, je lahko videl, kako krasen, lep je, ampak tam ni lahko živeti.
And I began, like Western people do, separated myself from the space that I was in.
In ravnal sem tako, kot ravnamo zahodnjaki. Začel sem se ločevati od kraja, v katerem sem bil.
Feeling separate from the forests, from the water, from the mosquitoes, from the piranha fish, from all the lovely other creatures that inhabit the rainforest.
Počutil sem se ločenega od vsega, od gozda, od vode, od komarjev, od piran, od vseh tistih prekrasnih bitij, ki napolnjujejo tisti prostor.
And then, of course, when you do this, you create realities. We create our own reality depending on how we think, how we feel, how we are in this moment.
In seveda na ta način se ustvarjamo svojo resničnost, zaradi tega, ker mi vsi ustvarjamo svojo resničnost, s tem, kako čutimo, s tem, kako mislimo, s tem, kdo smo v tistem trenutku.
And then, all of a sudden, something happened. Someone in the front of the canoe pushed a branch out of the way so that the canoe could go further and deeper into the forest.
Potem pa se je nekaj zgodilo. Nekdo, oseba, ki je stala na samem začetku kanuje, je odmaknila vejo, zaradi tega, da bi lahko potem nadaljevali svojo pot še globljo v pragozd.
And then, as you do, when you move things, things really move. This person had moved a bee hive out of the way because it was stuck, wild bees were stuck on, aggressive wild bees were stuck on a branch that he pushed out of the way, and they were not happy. Of course, they're not happy if they're being pushed out of the way.
In seveda, ko nekaj premaknemo, se stvari zares premaknejo. In ta oseba je s tem, ko je odmahnila vejo, premaknila tudi oziroma zmodirala čebeli panj, ki je bil na tej veji in seveda tiste precej agresivne čebele niso bile nič zadovoljne s tem, kar se je zgodilo.
I observed everything from the back of the canoe.
Vse sem opazoval z zadnjega konca.
A good place to be when there's all those bees buzzing around. And this is what went through my mind. There was an ego involved in it.
In vse sem opazoval z zadnjega dela kanoja, zaradi tega, ker je boljše, da si tam, ko se takšne stvari dogajajo, ko so tam nekaj nore čebele. In kar mi šlo skozi misli, je bilo naslednje, s tem, da ne to povem, da je tukaj bil precej na delu ego.
I'm glad I'm at the back of the canoe. Because the one in the front of the canoe was being really, well, the bees were not playing a nice game with her.
Mislil sem si, prav vesel sem, da sem tukaj na zadnjem delu kanoja, zaradi tega, ker tisti možakar, ki je tam na začetku, se nima prav nič fajn, ker so ga čebele kar konkretno obdelovale.
I separated from that experience by saying, I'm in heaven, and the man in front is in hell.
Ločil sem se situacije, ko sem si rekel, jaz sem v nebesih in oseba, ki se to dogaja, je v peklu.
And of course, if you're in hell, you worry about it because it's not a nice place to be.
In seveda, če si v peklu, si v skrbeh zaradi tega, kar ni prav nič prijetno.
But that is not what the people in the canoe did. All of a sudden, and this was a bit strange.
Ampak to ni bilo, tega niso naredili ostali v kanoju. Kar naenkrat, in to je bilo tisto najbolj čudno,
Everybody started to laugh.
So se vsi začeli režati.
And I looked around and I thought, what is going on? I could not understand that reference point. It really sort of puzzled me completely.
In pogledal sem okrog sebe in se vprašal, pa kaj se tukaj dogaja. Nisem mogel tega razumeti, nisem mogel razumeti te referenčne točke. Prava uganka je bila.
Everyone laughed, and of course, just to explain to you what they were doing.
Vsi so se smejali, ne vam razložim, kaj so pravzaprav počeli.
Was what all native people do.
Počeli so to, kar počnejo vsi domorodci.
They believe they're in heaven all the time.
Verjamejo največ, da so ves čas v nebesih.
They don't believe in hell.
Ne verjamejo v pekel.
And if you believe in hell, it's not a good belief system.
Če verjamete v pekel, to ni dober sistem
And I
prepričanja.
did. And I couldn't laugh.
Sam pa sem verjel in zato se
I was
nisem
just
mogel
totally
smejati.
confused.
In bil sem povsem zmeden.
And so then I asked for some sort of clarity when I got to the Amazon forest village that I was going to. And this was the answer.
Ko smo prispeli do vasice v amazonskem pravozu, kamor smo bili namenjeni, sem prosil za jasnost in to je bil odgovor, ki sem ga prejel.
I didn't really understand. And so just to give you the answer pure in Amazonian language, I will explain to you what they said to me. This is what they said to me.
Nisem ga sicer razumel, ampak da ne vam ga najprej povem. Odgovor, ki sem ga dobil v njihovem čistem jeziku, amazonskem jeziku, je bil naslednji.
And then I'll explain a little bit more later. Is
Potem
it
bom
okay?
malce več o tem razložil.
They said, here is the answer. And
Rekli so
they
mi, to je
began
odgovor.
to chant.
In začeli so pripevati.
That is sound. And chanting is sound.
Pripev, napev je vedno neki zvok.
But it was not a normal chant. It was not just, hey, I'm feeling happy or whatever type song.
Ampak to ni bil običajni napev kot hola, kako se vam fajn in kako mi je lepo.
It was a chant that came from deep inside, like a drum or from the earth, and it went like this. And I hope you can follow. I will chant to you this wonderful song, which is called the Song of the Snake.
Začeli so peti napev, ki je prihajal prav nekje iz globin, bil je kot neki zvok bobnov in iskreno upam, da ga boste lahko tudi sami razumeli. Napev je pesem kače.
And it goes like this. Remember, I was very young, listening to all these things was very confusing, and I listened, and it was wonderful, and it went like this.
Ne pozabite, bil sem zelo mlad, rosno mlad, zelo sem bil zmeden in to, kar sem slišal, je bilo naslednje.
me as a young person.
Zame, ki sem bil takrat mlad, je bil to čudovit zvok.
And what I understood was something beyond words.
In razumel sem nekaj, kar je šlo prek besed.
As the shamans, as the elders sang or chanted in this way, which is the song of the snake,
Ko so šamani, ko so starešine tega plemena na ta način prepevali s pesem od kače,
my whole physical body changed.
se je moje fizično telo v celoti spremenilo.
My whole emotional body opened up,
Moje čustveno telo se je odprlo
and I was able to change my picture of dualism and come back to a space which was much more real, much more present.
in lahko sem spremenil svojo sliko dualizma in se vrnil v tisto mesto, tisti prostor v sebi, kjer sem bil neprimerno bolj prisoten, neprimerno bolj navzoč.
And what I realized when this happens is that actually the vibration in your body, the physical body, the particles that constitute molecules, material aspect of your body, your bones, your organs, your brain,
Ko se je to zgodilo, sem se zavedal, da fizično telo, molekule, delčki v njem, iz katerih so sestavljene molekule, iz katerih je sestavljeno vse, kar je v telesu,
begin to change.
so se začele spreminjati.
They really change.
In dejansko so se spremenile.
And this was a wonderful thing for me.
To je bilo za mene nekaj krasnega.
I hope you experienced a little bit of this.
Upam, da ste tudi sami izkusili nekaj podobnega.
The song of the snake is Amazonian. You don't have to sing this.
Pesem kače je amazonska pesem, ni vam je treba prepevati.
But I believe that you have to sing. You have to sing.
Ampak vseeno mislim, da morate
I
videti.
believe you have to be joyful and you have to express that joy in a real sense, not just in a pretense.
Mislim, da in verjamem, da morate biti radosni in da morate svojo radost zares izraziti. Ne da se pretvarjate, ampak da jo zares izrazite.
I think that pure consciousness is not just a concept. It has to be an experience that is actualized through various things. And one of the major and most powerful ways to do this is through sound.
Čista zavest ni koncept. Čista zavest je nekaj resničnega, je nekaj, kar udejanjamo na različne načine. Eden izmed načinov je skozi zvok.
This is why birds sing.
Zato prepevajo ptice.
This is why the wind creates music.
To je razlog, zaradi katerega tudi veter ustvarja glasbo.
And this is why children, hopefully children, sing happy songs when they're playing.
To je razlog, zakaj se tako upam, otroci pojejo vesele pesmi, ko se igrajo.
This is why when you fall in love, when your body expands into a space of oneness,
To je razlog, zakaj, takrat, ko se zaljubimo, ko se naše telo odpre v ta prostor enosti,
your heart sings.
začne prepevati naše srce.
Everyone sings a beautiful, unique song, but your heart sings.
Vsi prepojemo čudovito, lepo pesem, ampak takrat poje srce.
And sings the sound that is visible, which you can hear, the birds singing, the water, the waves making beautiful sounds, and the sounds that are invisible.
Prepeva srce in to se sliši v zvokih, ki so vidni, kot je vidno, kot je slišno petje ptic, zvok vetra, zvok valov, zvok morja, ampak viden je tudi v vseh tistih zvokih, ki niso tako slišni in vidni.
And the sounds that are invisible, I believe to be the whole structure that we participate in, the reality that we participate in.
Verjamem, da ti nevidni zvoki tvorijo strukturo, to zgradbo, strukturo, v kateri sodelujemo vsi.
And they create our experiences, they create how we see and how we feel and how we are.
Ti ustvarjajo naše izkušnje, ti vplivajo na to, kako mi čutimo, mislimo, na to, kaj smo.
And I believe that through the power of sound, you can change from being unhappy, from being sick, from being separate, to coming back to this sense of oneness.
Prepričan sem, da prav s pomočjo zvoka lahko iz nesrečnih, nezdravih oseb, iz oseb, ki so ločene do vsega, se vrnemo v ta prostor, ta kraj enosti.
And then this sense of oneness brings light to the mind, especially the pituitary pineal gland, which is in the brain.
In na ta način se s pomočjo tega zvoka lahko vnesemo v naše telo svetlobo, še posebej v hipofizo in v epifizo.
And this light just makes you happy.
In s to svetlobo smo preprosto srečni.
You are just happy. You don't know why you're happy. There is no reason to be happy. You don't have very much. You don't have anything special, but you just find a sense of happiness.
Preprosto smo srečni. Nimamo sicer veliko, ne počnemo ne vem česa, ne vemo, zakaj bi bili srečni, pa preprosto smo srečni.
I know this is not the experience for many people. This is why I'm explaining, because it can be.
Vem pa, da to ni izkušnja številnih ljudi in prav zaradi tega to razlagam, ker je ta možnost realna.
And to help you understand this and to see how easy it is.
Da bi vam lahko pomagal to razumeti, tako da boste videli, kako preprosto je to.
I would like to do a meditation. Is this okay?
Bi rad z vami izvedel meditacijo. Je to v redu za vas? Sprejemljivo?
I know some people who have not done this before. Maybe it's your first time, but try and see what happens.
Morda ste med vami osebe, ki tega še niste naredili, pa poskusite, da vidite, kaj bo.
And we live in such a polluted world. This meditation will cleanse your body, will cleanse your mind. So it is a very useful meditation, not just to feel happy, but also to heal the physical body, which I believe to be the temple of light.
Gre za meditacijo, ki je zelo pomembna v današnjem svetu, ker živimo v zelo onesnaženem svetu. Tako da to ni meditacija, ki nam bo samo pomagala, da bomo srečnejši, da bomo srečni, ampak nam bo pomagala tudi očistiti, razstrupiti telo, kar je zelo pomembno danes.
And the meditation is focusing on the third eye, which is the space between the eyebrows.
Pri meditaciji se osredotočimo na tretje oko, med obrvami in predelu.
And this is a very sensitive area that perceives the world beyond just physical as well as the subtle. So you may see lots of beautiful pictures, or you may have lots of wonderful sensations. Allow that to just be experienced and go deeper.
To je zelo občutljiv del nas, kjer nam je mogočno, da vidimo stvari prek očitnega, tudi prek besed, da vidimo tudi vse tisto, kar je subtilno. Tako da si dovolite, da vidite, kar vidite, da občutite, kar občutite.
We can visualize whatever, we can imagine whatever, something beautiful in your third eye, which means the picture that you're looking at through your third eye, not just visually, but deep, from deep inside.
Lahko vizualiziramo nekaj lepega, nekaj, kar je zelo lepo, ne samo, da vizualiziramo kot nekaj vidnega, ampak da to vizualiziramo kot nekaj globoko iz sebe.
Maybe imagine a moment where you were free, where things were not so difficult, where the mortgage was not important.
Morda si lahko predstavljate en trenutek, ko so bile stvari zelo prijetne, ko ste bili svobodni, ko je bilo vse enostavnejše, ko mogoče ni na vas pritisk plačevanja kredita ali kaj podobnega. Ko vsakdanje zadeve niso predstavljali takšnega pritiska.
Imagine just something beautiful, maybe walking by the sea, walking in the mountains.
Predstavljati si nekaj lepega, recimo, da hodite ob morju, se sprehajate ob morju ali pa hodite po hribih.
Maybe walking with someone that you love.
Morda se sprehajate z nekom, ki ga ljubite.
It is important that you participate in meditation through bringing emotion into it.
Pomembno je, da sodelujete pri meditaciji tako, da vanjo nesete čustvo.
So allow the picture to bring a feeling, a positive, beautiful feeling to your heart.
Dovolite torej tej sliki, da prinese pozitivno čustvo, čustvo v vaše srce.
As you see this beautiful aspect,
ko vidite ta prelepi aspekt,
begin to go deeper.
gremo vse globje.
Feel your breath going deeper.
Čutimo, kako se dih vse bolj poglablja.
So that the breath is not simply being breathed through the chest, but goes down into the abdomen, deep into the belly.
Tako da naš dih ni samo nekaj, kar gre dol do prsnega koša, ampak dihujemo globlje vse tja dol do trebušne votline.
As you do this, you are saying yes to the experience. As you breathe deeper, you're breathing a yesness into the experience.
In ko tako globoko dihamo, se pravzaprav odpiramo in pravimo, ja, jo pozdravljamo izkušnjo. S takšnim globokim dihanjem se odpiramo izkušnjo in jo omogočamo.
Feel your heart open to the feeling of joy.
Čutimo, kako se srce odpre občutku radosti.
And as you experience this,
In ko to občutimo,
imagine the beautiful sun rising up, greeting you. The beautiful physical sun shining light towards your third eye.
si predstavljamo, kako se prekrasno sonce dviguje, namo pozdrav, vidimo ga, kako se dviga in sije svetlobo na nas.
Feel the sensation,
Občutimo to,
the warmth of the sun shining on the third eye,
občutimo toploto sonca, ki sije na tretje oko,
and see how this light enters into all your physical space, enters into your thoughts, so that all the negative aspects, all the limitations, the mortgage, whatever, now changes and you expand beyond and touch potential.
občutimo, kako se ta toplota dotakne celega našega fizičnega telesa, čutimo jo, kako gre v naše misli in kako tam odpusti vse, kar je negativno, kako se spremenijo vse tiste naše misli, obremenjene s kreditom in s drugimi omejitvami in kako je sedaj možno se dotakniti potencijala.
A wonderful sensation where perhaps you begin to see flickers of light, bubbles of light dancing around the space of the third eye.
Občutek je krasen in mogoče celo vidimo prebliske svetlobe ali pa svetlobe kroglice, svetlobne mehurčke, ki plešejo okrog tretjega očesa.
And now you have changed.
In sedaj smo se spremenili.
You are in tuning your body, you are in tuning your emotions to be one with the space that is creation.
Svoje telo, svoja čustva uglašujemo tako, da je lahko eno s stvaritvijo.
Now you are no longer a slave to old paradigms. Now you are a creator. And because you have this freedom, you have the freedom to create whatever wisdom your heart speaks to you.
Sedaj nismo več sužnji tega, sedaj smo stvarniki. In ker smo stvarniki, so svobodni, da lahko ustvarimo vse, kar hočemo, ustvarimo svobodo.
Allow this wisdom to come clearly into the third eye, the picture, the feeling, the sensation.
Sedaj lahko ustvarimo vse tisto, kar nam narekuje modrost srca. Dovolimo, da sedaj se to odpre, da se nam to prikaže kot jasna slika, ki jo vidimo v tretjem očesu.
And go deeper and deeper. With the beautiful sound of the crystal bowl,
in gremo globlje sedaj in globlje in s prečudovitim zvokom kristalne sklede
sense how this light dances not just in the third eye, but now fills your whole body with this sense of lightness and expansion.
Občutimo, kako ta prečudovita svetloba ne sije samo v tretjem očesu, ampak je povsod v celem našem telesu in se širi.
Breathing in deeply.
Globoko vdihujemo. Še vedno globoko vdihujemo in izdihujemo.
Feeling and sensing this expansion.
In občutimo, kako se širimo.
And allowing this expansion to change into a feeling of joy and peace.
In dovolimo, da s tem širjenjem občutimo občutek radosti in miru.
As you do this gently when you're ready,
In takrat, ko smo pripravljeni,
you can come back
se lahko vrnemo.
to your body, back to the room.
Lahko se vrnemo v telo in v ta prostor.
I hope you enjoyed the meditation.
Upam, da ste uživali v meditaciji.
I am sharing all this with you because I believe that we live at a very crucial moment in transformation, in humanity's transformation.
Se to delim z vami zaradi tega, ker sem prepričan, da živimo v ključnem trenutku preobrazbe človeštva.
And yesterday I don't normally watch television. I find it silly, but yesterday I watched television because I'm in a hotel. So I just would like to see what is going on in the world.
Ponavadi ne gledam televizije, ker se mi zdi malce travnasta, ampak včeraj sem jo gledal zaradi tega, ker sem prespal v hotelu in sem hotel videti, kaj se dogaja po svetu.
And I was just watching myself watching.
Pozval sem sebe medtem, ko sem gledal televizijo.
Just seeing, what is the effect of what is being shown on television on me.
Tako da bi videl, kakšen je učinek tega, kar kaže televizija name.
And I felt powerless.
Počutil sem se nemočnega.
It's like the television was telling me how to feel and how to think.
Kot
And
da
how
bi
to
mi,
see the world and how to whatever.
kot da bi mi televizija pravila, kako naj mislim, kaj naj čutim, kako naj gledam na svet.
And it was interesting, it's entertaining and, it's interesting for some people.
Bilo je zanimivo zaradi tega, ker je vendarle zabavno, ker nas zabava, vsaj za nekatere ljudi je tako.
And I realized what I'm doing, I was invited to be here today, is totally different from television. But I see that there is a bit of television here today.
In spoznal sem, da je razlog, zakaj sem bil povabljen danes sem, ravno nasprotni od razloga, ki ga ima televizija, čeprav tudi danes tukaj bilo nekaj televizije.
I don't want you to feel powerless. I don't want you to listen to what I'm saying. I want you
Ne želim, da se počutite nemočni, ne želim, da poslušate, kar vam jaz pravim.
to move beyond that old paradigm and discover your power, your freedom.
Želim, da greste onkraj stare paradigme in odkrijete svojo moč in svojo svobodo.
Wow, that's a big thing.
To je nekaj velikega,
And it's not normal.
nekaj neobičajnega.
But I believe it's essential today because we are at a point of such transformation that we can no longer wait for someone else
Mislim pa, da
or
je to
something else.
Mislim pa, da je to danes bistveno zaradi tega, ker živimo v tako ključnem trenutku preobrazbe, da ne moremo več čakati na nekaj ali na nekoga drugega.
I believe that we are creators
Verjamem, da smo stvarniki
and that everyone here is equal.
in verjamem, da smo vsi, ki smo tukaj, enaki.
And part of that creation, that God doesn't live somewhere outside, that the divine, meaning intelligence, freedom, is everywhere. You, me, we are connected.
Vsi smo del te velike staritve, ne staritve, ko je Bog nekaj zunaj nas, ampak staritve, ko smo vsi del nečesa velikega, nečesa božanskega, tiste velike inteligence.
That means we have to put things into practice. We can't just sit and watch television.
To pomeni, da moramo stvari prenesti v prakso, da ne moramo več sedeti in gledati televizije.
Or, if it's not television, watch life and hope it gets better.
Ali pač ne gledati televizije, da ne gledamo več življenja in preprosto upamo, da se bojo stvari izboljšale.
Or, if you're in a relationship that is not working out, watch your partner and hope that they change.
Ali pa če ste v odnosu, ki ne najbolje deluje, da opazujete svojega partnerja in upate, da se bo spremenil.
Or if you have a boss that's not so pleasant to be around, watch your boss and just wait for the change.
Ali pa, če imate malce neprijetnega in zoprnega šefa, da preprosto opazujete šefa in čakate, da se to spremeni.
Or if you can't pay the mortgage, just wait for the bank to change.
Ali pa, če ne morete plačevati kredita, da čakate na banko, da se bo ona spremenila.
Life goes on.
Življenje se
So many
nadaljuje.
different experiences, but the one thing
Toliko različnih izkušenj je, ampak ena stvar,
is that you are a creator.
ki pa vedno velja, je, da smo ustvarniki.
So we can all together create a totally different reality than what the native people have predicted will be happening in the next few years.
Tako lahko skupaj ustvarimo drugačno resničnost od tiste resničnosti, ki so jo domorodci napovedali, da se bo odvila v naslednjih letih.
And I don't say this to scare you or to sort of sound like, oh gosh, it's terrible, but just to challenge you to step out of this sofa where it's comfortable to watch TV and to participate.
Tega vam ne pravim zato, da bi vas prestrašil. To vam pravim zaradi tega, da lahko stopite z kavča in začnete sodelovati pri tem. S tem vas nekako izziva.
This is a wonderful thing.
To je nekaj krasnega.
When we realize that we have this power,
Krasno je, ko ugotovimo, spoznamo, da imamo to moč.
which is not of the ego, but it is wisdom.
In da ta moč ne prihaja iz ega, to je modrost.
And then we realize that even if you have cancer,
Potem spoznamo, da če tudi obolihamo z rakom,
I've had people who work with me and had worked with me who were diagnosed with cancer, with AIDS, with diseases that the doctor says, you have 3-6 months to live, you are in a very bad state.
z mano so delali in še delajo številne osebe, ki imajo različne diagnoze, raka, AIDS ali pa druge zdravstvene stanje, zaradi katerih so jim zdravniki napovedali le še 3-6 mesecev življenja in so rekli, da so dejansko zelo slabem zdravstvenem stanju.
And we sit back there shocked, watching
In ko nam to
and not
povedo,
believing that it's possible and just sitting and not creating, not participating, just waiting. And I think this is what people have done for too long.
in ko se nam to zgodi, preprosto obsedimo, onemimo in samo gledamo in v šoku in čakamo in gledamo in čakamo. In mislim, da smo to počeli predolgo.
And I didn't know if I would be able to come here because airports were closed a few days ago where I live.
Pred nekaj dnevi nisem vedel, če bom sploh lahko prišel sem zaradi tega, ker so bila letališča zaprta tam,
And it's one volcano.
zaradi enega
But the
vulkana.
native people say that there will be thousands of volcanoes going off.
Ampak stara ljudstva pravijo, da bo na tisoče vulkanov eruptiralo.
And it creates such chaos. And we just sit there and we can't really do anything. We just sit there and wait for the volcano to stop working.
Zdaj pa smo zaradi enega vulkana vsi onemeli in smo obsedeli in samo čakali, da bomo lahko začeli spet delati.
The Amazonian people say if we do this, we enter a time of chaos.
Ljudje v amazonskem predgostu pravijo, da če tako počnemo, če tako storimo, potem ustvarjamo
Why?
kaos.
Because we are allowing the pain, the old programs that we have inside of ourselves, not to be transformed. So we see the picture of pure consciousness from a very distorted part of ourselves.
Zaradi tega, ker potem dovolimo bolečini, dovolimo tem starim programom, da nam še vedno narekujejo sedanjost, da nam še vedno narekujejo življenje. In to sliko čiste zavesti vidimo kot nekaj, kar je ločeno od nas, kar je zunaj nas.
We can change by bringing the vibration out of that program.
To vendar se lahko spremenimo in to tako, da vibracije potegnemo iz tega starega programa.
So even if the bees are stinging,
Tudi če čebele pičijo,
you can smile and laugh
se
from your
lahko še
heart
vedno smejimo in režimo srcem in v srcu.
and bring the vibration to a level where even when things are difficult, you still have a choice. Even when you have cancer, you still have a choice to create a different reality.
Tako da dvignemo vibracije do tiste ravni, ko imamo še vedno, tudi če so stvari zelo težke, izbiro, ko imamo, tudi če smo oboleli za rakom, še vedno izbiro.
And I believe this will be challenging for people as they look around and everything that they know gets changed. So not only there are volcanoes, but there are changes, which I don't want to really go deeply into now, that shock people, that begin to challenge people, that begin to push people's emotions and fears up to the surface. What do we do when these things come up, when pain comes up to the surface? Do we just sit and watch and hope it goes away, or do we actively change it?
In prepričan sem, da bo za ljudi, ko se bodo vse te spremembe odvijale, ko bodo vsi ti vulkani začeli bruhati, da bo težko, da bo za vse težko, ko bodo gledali okrog sebe, ko se bo dogajale še druge spremembe, v katere sedaj ne bi še podrobnosti, in bo težko, kaj naredimo, ko se to zgodi, kaj naredimo, ko se prebudi, ko pride na dan in izbruhne vsa tista bolečina, ko izbruhnejo vsa tista čustva, kaj nam je storiti?
We can change it.
To lahko spremenimo.
We can change anything.
Vse lahko spremenimo.
I want to just show you another meditation, but just in case you think it's impossible because you have too much pain.
Rad bi vam pokazal, podelil z vami še eno meditacijo, če mislite slučajno, da je to nemogoče zaradi tega, ker čutite preveč bolečine.
And you say, well, this is all nice and that sounds great, but I'm afraid to take that step. You have fear.
Če si mislite, to sicer vse krasno zveni in tako naprej, ampak sam se bojim narediti tisti dodatni korak.
You're not born with fear.
Nismo se rodili s strahom.
You can change it.
Lahko ga spremenimo.
Through this meditation I have created, I feel that at least we begin to touch upon a mechanism that allows the change to take place.
Z naslednjo meditacijo, ki sem jo sam ustvaril, mislim, da lahko vsaj naslovimo ta mehanizem, tako da potem omogoča to spremembo.
It's a very short meditation, but just in case you go back to work, tomorrow is Monday, no? And you go back to work and your boss, says something, and you go back into your emotional hurt or into your pain, and you constrict, you contract. Your energy is not like the previous meditation where everything was light, everything was beautiful. You go back into a space that creates a reality that is not so pleasant.
Meditacija je kratka, mogoče vam bo pomagala že jutri, ko recimo boste šli v službo in boste tam naleteli na svojega šefa, ki bo nekaj zimno, s čimer vam bo spet povzročil čustveno bolečino. To ni takšna meditacija, kot je bila tista prejšnja, ko je bilo vse svetlo, ko je bilo vse lepo. To je tista meditacija, ki vam pomaga občutiti bolečino tam, kjer se krčimo, tam, kjer smo v krču, tam, kjer čutimo boleče.
Just in case you have pain that you don't know that you have.
Ali pa če čutimo bolečino, za katero niti ne vemo, da jo imamo v sebi.
Some people go around and say, I'm okay, everything is good.
Se veste, nekateri hodijo po svetu in pravijo, ne, jaz sem v redu, vse krasno.
That's because they don't let anything in, and they keep everything out.
Ker ne dopustijo, da bi karkoli prišlo noter. Vse pustijo, zaklenjajo tam zunaj.
Or maybe you're okay, and then this meditation is still useful.
Morda pa ste čisto v redu, ampak tudi v tem primeru vam lahko ta meditacija.
Useful, you can participate in the meditation and you can show it to someone else, your partner, who's not okay.
Lahko poskusite to meditacijo in potem pokažete to meditacijo partnerju, ki pa ni tako v redu.
Okay, so this meditation is very simple. If you wish, you can close your eyes.
Gre za zelo preprosto meditacijo, če želite, lahko zaprete oči.
And you take a deep breath. It's always important to take a deep breath.
Globoko vdihnemo, vedno pomembno, da globoko vdihnemo in globoko dihamo.
And I will quickly go through this, but when you do the meditation, you can do this much slower.
Danes bom šel skozi to meditacijo bolj hitro, ampak ko jo izvajate sami, si lahko vzamete čas.
You go down with your intention, with your consciousness, your awareness, to the base part of your spine.
Svojo namero, svojo zavestjo gremo dol po hrbtenici, vse do njenega korenskega dela.
This is a beautiful place. It's the coccyx perineum area, which is a space where energy is created.
To je krasen del telesa, področje trtice, področje medeničnega dna, kjer se ustvarja energija.
Emotional pain absorbs and sucks energy, so you need to create energy so that you can sustain transformation.
Čustvena bolečina pije energijo, jo izpije, zaradi tega moramo ustvariti energijo, da lahko s tem podpremo svoje staritve.
Imagine this beautiful part of your body, the spine, vibration.
Predstavljamo si, kako ta del telesa, konec hrbtenice, je poln in prežet z vibracijo. Grščini od tega.
As you breathe in, your whole body relaxes.
Vdihujemo in telo se sprošča.
As you breathe out, your whole body relaxes.
Izdihnemo in telo se spet sprošča.
As you breathe in, imagine this tingling sensation moving up your spine.
Z naslednjim vdihom si predstavljamo, kako ta ščegotajoč občutek se premika navzgor po hrbtenici.
Moving up.
Premika se navzgor, vse više in više.
Until it reaches the space of your heart.
Dokler ne pride do srca.
Imagine this tingling sensation moving from the base of your spine and tingling up towards your heart.
Predstavljamo si ta ščegotajoč, ščemeč občutek, ki potuje navzgor po hrbtenici, od dna hrbtenice vse tja do srca.
And as you sense this in your heart,
In ko to čutimo v srcu,
begin to visualize, see, imagine a beautiful, warm, red light glowing in your heart.
si predstavljamo, vizualiziramo, občutimo prelepo, rdečo svetlobo, ki žari v srcu.
This beautiful red light expanding.
Ta prelepa rdeča svetloba se širi,
Expanding.
širi.
And especially going through all the blood vessels, all the parts of your body, like the organs. This beautiful red light flowing through the blood vessels, touching every organ in your body.
Še posebej gre ta prelepa rdeča svetloba po vseh krvnih žilah, po vsem telesu, do vseh njegovih organov. Ta prelepa rdeča, žareča svetloba gre po rdečih, gre po krvnih žilah, vse tja organov.
So that energy flows
Tako da se lahko energija pretaka,
into the liver,
pretaka se v jedra,
into the kidneys,
v ledvice,
into all beautiful parts of your body, and you feel this warmness make you feel hot.
vse prelepe dele našega telesa, čutimo, kako ta toplota nam omogoča, da smo dejansko vroči, čutimo to toploto v sebi.
Your hands are warm,
Naše dlani so tople,
your face is warm.
naš obraz je topel.
You breathe in and breathe out.
Vdihujemo in izdihujemo.
And between the in and out breath,
Med vdihom in izdihom,
between the pause that happens as you breathe in and breathe out,
v tistem odmoru, ki se zgodi med vdihom in izdihom,
sense that a beautiful transformation is taking place.
občutimo, kako se odvija čudovita preobrazba.
All the pain and suffering that you may be focused on at this moment,
Vsa bolečina, vse trpljenje, na katerega se morda v tem trenutku osredotočamo,
slowly moves from deep inside and surfaces out towards the outside of your body, leaving your physical body feeling warm and glowing and flowing with this beautiful red light.
se premakne iz globin našega telesa in se premika in gre na ven, zapušča naše telo in gre na ven, tako da je naše telo prežeto le še s to prelepo, toplo, žarečo svetlobo.
You may want to take a few minutes to focus on something that you really feel is important to change.
Vzemimo se nekaj trenutkov, da se osredotočimo na nekaj, za kar smo prepričani, da je res potrebno spremembe.
An emotional aspect that no longer needs to be there, that you can transform in this moment.
Morda je to neki čustveni aspekt, ki ni več potreben in ki ga lahko v tem trenutku preobrazimo.
As you breathe in and breathe out, take a few moments to focus on this.
Med vdihom in izdihom si vzamemo trenutke, ko se osredotočimo na to.
gently as you come back into your body.
Včasih nežno se vrnemo v telo.
I come towards the end of my talk.
In tako moram povedati, da smo prišli tudi do konca tega predavanja.
I think this meditation is very important.
Mislim, da je to zelo pomembna meditacija.
Because to function from a state of consciousness that creates a problem.
Da bi delovali iz tistega stanja zavesti, kjer se ustvari problem.
Doesn't actually help us to get to pure consciousness.
Če tako počnemo, nam to ne pomaga, da bi prišli do stanja čiste zavesti.
You understand what I'm saying? If you feel that you are a victim to the world,
razumete, če imate občutek, da ste žrtev tega sveta,
to any aspect of the world, it has to change.
Česarkoli v tem svetu, potem se mora to spremeniti.
And I believe that through this meditation, you are able to change pain, suffering, to come back to who you really are.
In prepričan sem, da lahko s takšno meditacijo lahko spremenite bolečino in trpljenje in postanete spet tista oseba, ki v resnici ste.
And that is a joyful, peaceful person.
Oseba, ki ste, pa je radostna, mirna, miroljubna oseba.
How do I know?
Kako to vem?
Well, I've been to many native societies and they sing and they smile.
Obiskal sem številna ljudstva, ki živijo še na stari način po tem svetu in vsa so v miru in vsa se smejijo.
I watch babies and they're born with this natural, beautiful smile.
Opazujem novorojenčke in ko se rodijo, vedno vidim, da se rodijo s tem prečudovitim nasmehom.
And I believe that this is natural for all human beings. So this meditation will help to release the old programs that make people unhappy, the pain and suffering, to come back to this sense of joy and peace.
Verjamem, da je to normalno stanje za vse ljudi na tem svetu. S to meditacijo vam bo uspelo odpustiti vse tiste bolečine, vse tisto trpljenje, ki ga čutite, tako da boste lahko spet postali radostna bitja.
I want to finish today by just a friend who works with me a lot because they know they have to change, and so they've decided to be working with me. And I realized one day
Naj ob koncu povem nekaj o svojem prijatelju, ki dejansko mora veliko spremeniti, tudi živi z mano, zaradi tega mora precej spremeniti.
That there was no joy or peace in their expression. Something was wrong. The person was sulking, the word sulking, unhappy, and saying, I'm miserable, and portraying that to the world, and holding on as if it's the most important possession in the world to that experience of pain and suffering.
Nekega dne sem opazil, da ta moj prijatelj, da ta oseba ni srečna, da dejansko je nezadovoljna, da ima nesrečen izraz na obrazu, da nekaj se kuje, vse veste, kaj to pomeni, kako to zgleda, da se kuje, in da se tega kujenja drži, kot da je to najbolj pomembna, najbolj dragocena stvar na svetu.
You may think that's strange. Just imagine if you're jealous because something happens.
Ampak predstavljajte si, da ste mogoče ljubosumni in da se pa nekaj zgodi.
Just imagine all the sufferings that we hold on to. And now imagine, by doing this physical movement, how you can transform this.
Predstavljajte si vse trpljenje, ki se ga tako zelo oklepamo. In predstavljajte si, kako s tem fizičnim gibanjem spremenimo.
When the Aboriginals in Australia find the problem too difficult, what they do?
Kaj storijo avstralski domorodci, ko se jim neki problem zdi preveč težaven?
I worked with Aboriginals. It's where I studied marine biology in Australia.
Z njimi sem tudi delal. V Avstraliji sem namreč študiral morsko biologijo.
I went up to one tribe, because there are many different tribes and nations in Australia.
Obiskal sem eno izmed plemen, v Avstraliji namreč veliko morskih plemen.
This tribe was the dolphin tribe. Basically their green totem was the dolphin.
To pleme je bilo delfinovo pleme, kar pomeni njihov sanski totem delfin.
And I asked, what do you do with pain and suffering?
Vprašal sem jih, kaj naredite z bolečino in trpljenjem?
And they said, if it's a little thing, we ask the elders of the tribe how to resolve it. If it's a big thing,
rekli so mi, če gre za nekaj manjšega, se obrnemo na starešine plemena. Če pa gre za kaj večjega,
we celebrate.
Slavimo.
How do you celebrate, I asked?
In vprašal sem, kako slavite?
We dance and sing all night for many, many nights.
Plešemo in pojemo celo noč, kar nekaj noči zapored.
Basically what they're doing is moving their body and connecting to the wisdom of dream time, which is pure consciousness.
Kar pravzaprav počnejo, je, da se gibljajo in na ta način se povezujejo sebe s sanskim časom. Sanski čas pa predstavlja čisto zavest.
Not by watching or talking,
Ne
but by
opazujejo,
participating.
ne govorijo, ampak sodelujejo, so udeleženi.
Today I have explained and shown that you had the experience to understand that you are a participator in pure consciousness.
Upam, da sem vam danes pokazal in razložil, da tudi vi, da smo vsi osebe, ki sodelujo, ki smo udeleženi v čisti zavesti.
And we can all make our dream come true.
In vsi